It's not unusual for political candidates to pick running mates that campaign for office on the same ticket, like presidents and vice presidents, governors and lieutenant governors. But a group of candidates all vying for seats on the Boston City Council are forming an entirely different kind of coalition. They're not running on the same ticket, but three-term Councilor Michelle Wu, first-term Councilor Janey, and hopeful Alejandra Guillen are still, in a sense, running together and, in two cases, against each other, sharing joint headquarters and planning to support each other's campaigns. The move could help set the trio, all women of color, apart in the field of more than 60 running for the council, but could it also create some tension with Wu and Guillen, who are both running for one of the city's 4 at-large seats? Michelle Wu, Alejandra Guillen, and Janey all join me now. Thanks for all of you for coming. Can we quickly go down the list? Why'd you buy into this unusual troika thing, Councilor Wu?
Well, I think we are done with the days of a campaign office as a secretive war room that's sort of closed off. We wanted the office to be a hub of community and to welcome everyone in.
What's your reason for doing this?
Well, you know, I've known Michelle for a really long time, and she presented the idea to me. I thought it was a beautiful opportunity to share a space with 2 women that I've deeply admired, 2 women who I'm most excited about joining on the council.
How about you, Kim?
So again, I want to also acknowledge my colleague, Michelle Wu, for her generosity. I think for me, what's really exciting about this, in addition to kind of partnering up with these amazing women, is the opportunity to have this office right in the heart of my district. So in many ways, Roxbury is ground zero for a lot of the inequities that we talk about in the city of Boston. So having this hub right there, I think, is an amazing opportunity for us.
So, you know, I thought a lot about this since I read the article. She's a district councilor, but it's the you part I don't understand. As I said a minute ago, you are helping a candidate who is sitting right in front of me who could hurt you. That doesn't concern you?
Look, the problems that we're facing now in Boston and across the country are too big. Elections can't just be about one person winning a seat. Right. It has to be about building a mandate for a movement.
So how do your 3 at-large candidates, who she's also running against in a way, how do they feel about this?
You know, I think we're all focused on doing the work in front of us in the city council chamber, and outside of the building, we're all running our races, eager to keep serving.
You know, before you 3 got here, I had a sense that this was just like a space sharing kind of thing. But after even 90 seconds of this, it sounds to me it's much more. What am I missing? Or what was I missing?
No, I mean, I think it is much more that. I mean, you have 3 women in front of you who are really looking to that understand that Boston, the way that we're shaping Boston in the years to come, are really we're in a critical moment right now, and we're all looking to close the income inequality gap. We're all looking to create more equitable education around the board. We share those values. We share those values as moms. We share those values as women, and I think that it's more than a shared space in terms of actual physical space, but it's a shared space in terms of our values and how we want to see things get done in Boston.
But
I've had the opportunity as a first-term councilor working in partnership with Michelle on those issues, but even prior to me joining the council, working with Alejandra on those issues and our own advocacy around education.
Yeah, we have a history together, all 3 of us.
And is that why, well, that leads into my next thing. Is there other women of color who are incumbents on the council who are not sitting in front of me? Was there a thought at all amongst 3 of you about expanding your reach beyond the 3, or was this?
I think it's important that we do all that we can to ensure that the women of color who are in leadership positions in our city and at the state level are able to continue to do the work, and that we are bringing more people with us. So we have a choice, and I think what we're determining, the 3 of us, that this is not going to be a moment in time, but this is in fact going to be a movement, and how we do that is by partnering up and turning conventional wisdom on its head when it comes to how campaigns operate.
Yeah. So it sounds to me like, from what all of you have said, that this is not just a one and done thing. Your hope is this is something that could be replicated by other people who share worldviews. Is that?
And by us when we're all in the council as well. That's the moment the work begins, with the community coming in.
Record number of women of color on the council. Everybody knows that. How has that changed in your estimation, Councilor?
I think
quality of the work.
It's been amazing.
So
I'm in my first term on the council, but I have watched the council as an advocate, as an activists for a number of years, and I would say that this council certainly is the most activist council in recent history. It is a council that is about doing the work, and I think that, no disrespect to my male colleagues, but I think the women of color on this council bring a new energy, a new perspective, they are representing a voice that has not been heard all the time.
Yeah. You're nodding vigorously.
Yeah, because I just, I, having been an advocate and also having served within the administration, I saw firsthand, I had a front row seat to see how it changed. And you have hearings about exam school admissions. That never happened a few years ago. You have hearings about how
Janey just raised her hand and said that
was her. You have hearings about how we're going to move forward on development, that it's not going to be the backroom deals anymore. That didn't happen before. All of that is happening because of the women on the council and the issues that they're putting forward. And when you see them in the council, you note the difference.
Both, obviously, they're both incumbents, 3 terms, 1 term. I assume a lot of people at home know you from your work, but sadly, they also probably know you because of your sister, who was a victim of a brutal murder in New York City more than a decade. I know it was 12, 13 years ago. Is that part of the reason why you're doing this?
Oh, everything that I do in memory of my sister and my father. The life that she didn't get to lead is the life that I want everyone across the city to be able to lead. I want them to have access to resources, to opportunities, and to be able to live out the lives that she wasn't able to do.
If you win, you have to serve. You know that. Is that?
I understand that. I understand that. I've been forewarned.
If we could just change gears for a second, one of my favorite books on sort of social policy, social economic things, is written more than 20 years ago, Bowling Alone, by Bob Putnam at Harvard, about social isolation and how it's changed the world. When I read your op-ed the other day, Councilor Wu, about want to fix our broken democracy, organize a block party, there may have been look at the smiles, there may have been people saying, oh my God. To me, that was essentially a Bowling Alone antidote 20 years later. I read it right?
Exactly. It's in
Explain
the same theme.
what you were saying.
Again, we have big issues we need to fix. Politics is the mechanism to fix it, but until people are connected to each other, when you don't trust your neighbors, you can't trust government, and you don't feel like you're part of that. So we need to build back that civic fabric, civic engagement, and I think this is one of the easiest ways to do it over the summer.
Not just trust your neighbors, know your neighbors. As you cite statistics, a huge percentage of people live next door to people. They don't even know the names of these people. You buying into this block party deal?
She's absolutely right. So I'm, a community organizer. And I know the importance of bringing people together, bringing community together to build those relationships so that we can build trust and then so we can build community. Michelle's right. We cannot do this alone. People always say, well, what are you going to do as a city councilor? We have to do this work in partnership with those who we represent. We cannot, Janey can't do this alone. We have to do this in partnership with those in our community. So I'm excited about block parties or anything that will bring residents together to tackle these huge issues in our community.
What's the central issue? You're the only non-incumbent here. What's the central issue in your candidacy?
Educational equity, affordable housing, and immigrant rights.
That's a small agenda. You should be able to get that done relatively quickly. I think it's very exciting. And I think these kinds of coalitions are really important, not just in the city, but all over the place. So thank you for doing it, and thank you for being here. I appreciate it, Councilor.
Thank you.
Pleasure
very
to see you. Good luck, Alejandra. It's great to see you. And Councilor, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it. Janey, Alejandra, Guillen, and Michelle Wu.